This coming year, Tavshin Pei Hey, there's going to be 4 Yom Tovim that have 3 days Yom Tov. Versteht sich, Yom Tov, there's never more than 2 days Yom Tov, but Yom Tov with a Shabbos. However, only 3 out of the 4 Yom Tovim there's going to be an Eiruv Tavshilin. The next 3 Yom Tovim, Rosh Hashanah is Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. Sukkot is Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. And Shmini Atzeres, Simchas Torah is Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. And you make an Eiruv Tavshilin to be able to cook from the second day Yom Tov, Friday, to cook for Shabbos. The 4th Yom Tov, that's Pesach. Pesach is Erev Pesach Shechali is Shabbos, so it's Shabbos, Sunday, Monday. So versteht sich, there's no Eiruv Tavshilin. You don't cook after Shabbos. You cook Sunday for Sunday, Monday for Monday. I want to speak briefly a little bit in some similarities and some chilukim between the Eiruv Tavshilin that we're going to be making this coming Rosh Hashanah Ba'aleinu L'Tova and Sukkot and Simchas Torah. The first din that it's doima, all 3 Eiruv Tavshilin for Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and Simchas Torah, is that being that it's a 3-day Yom Tov, what is the Eiruv Tavshilin for? It's for cooking from Dafka, Zokta Shulchan Aruch, Dafka, from the second day Yom Tov, from Friday to Shabbos. Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and Simchas Torah, you could only cook the second day Yom Tov for Shabbos. Sometimes people ask, they think that if you make an Eiruv Tavshilin, you could cook already from the first day Yom Tov to Shabbos. You can't. Be'etzem, we're not going to go into it now. The Ilm's learning, maybe it'll be in a future shiur, B'chlal, how does it work? What's the Issa Deraisa? With what would the Chacham matter in Eiruv Tavshilin? But Be'etzem, Eiruv Tavshilin is only being matter in Issa Derabanan. So Be'etzem, technically, the Eiruv Tavshilin could have been matter also to cook from the first day Yom Tov, from Thursday for Shabbos. L'maisa b'chahai gavnu chachamim were mesaken Eiruv Tavshilin, ubefrat that if the second day Yom Tov is like Choil, so then for sure the chacham didn't want that it should look that you have a week. If let's say Yom Tov is a Wednesday, Thursday, and then this Choil Friday, you for sure can't cook with you can't prepare from Thursday to Shabbos. So you cannot prepare on the first day Yom Tov for Shabbos, Sai Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, Simchas Torah. Eiruv Tavshilin only helps from Friday to Shabbos. You make the Eiruv Tavshilin Wednesday, and cooking, you can cook from Friday to Shabbos. Maybe you would tell me that Rosh Hashanah actually it should be mutter, because L'maisa it's Yom HaRichta. L'maisa it's Yom HaRichta, it's one long day, both days. So if it's like one long day, this coming Rosh Hashanah, Thursday and Friday is one day. So if you could cook Friday, you could really cook a Thursday also. The Teretz is, it's the Matafraim already speaks it out, Lagabi cooking from Thursday to Friday, he says you can't cook. Zokta Matafraim, why not? Because Yom HaRichta, we only say L'chumra v'loy l'kula. So just like you don't say l'kula to cook on Rosh Hashanah, you can't prepare the first day Rosh Hashanah for the second day. It's one long day. The Teretz is you only say it l'chumra. The same thing is also you can't cook from Thursday to Shabbos Rosh Hashanah, even though it's Yom HaRichta. For that you only say it l'chumra v'loy l'kula. Another thing, it's doima. The Eiruv Tavshilin this year is the Eiruv Tavshilin from the second day Yom Tov to Shabbos. However, if the Eiruv Tavshilin, let's say if it's Yom Tov is Friday, Shabbos, so over there you're making Eiruv Tavshilin from Friday, the first day Yom Tov, to cook, weiter to cook to Shabbos. Avad, you make Eiruv Tavshilin like that as well also. When you make an Eiruv Tavshilin from Friday to Shabbos, when there's only 2 days Yom Tov, the Poskim speak about changing the Lashon. We don't paskin like that. La halacha, the Taz, a big arichas in the Taz at the end of the Taz. Shulchan Aruch Harav says Meloshin Toiv. Rather, the Siddur he doesn't bring to change. And to include, when you're saying it to include, that you're not just cooking the Loshin, that you hay Sharalon and Levashula to cook, Miyomtiv l'Shabbos, now Miyomtiv l'Yomtiv v'Shabbos. The Loshin L'mevet Kol Tzarchana, when you make Eiruv Tavshilin, the Loshin, you say hay Sharalon to cook, so you say, L'mevet Kol Tzarchana, I want to be able to do prepare from Yom Tov to Shabbos, but you say Miyom Tov l'Shabbos u'Miyom Tov l'Chaverei. That's the Lashon of the Shulchan Aruch Harav. The Lashon in the Siddur of Yaakov Emden, he says Miyoyim Tova l'Chavrei u'Miyoyim Tova l'Shapsa. But Al Kaponim, when it's a Yom Tov and a 2-day Yom Tov and the second day is Shabbos, so Yesh Oimrim, we don't pass like that, La Alocha, but Pashtas and all the today's Siddurim, Machzorim, you're not going to see a difference between what type of Yom Tov it is, if it's a 3-day Yom Tov or a 2-day Yom Tov. But Al Kaponim, this whole shmooze is only a shmooze by a 2-day Yom Tov to add in that you want to be mater to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos, Yom Tov l'Yom Tov. Because you're also preparing, you're not just cooking extra food on Friday for Shabbos, you're also cooking extra food on Friday for Yom Tov. On Shabbos it's also Yom Tov, you want to prepare extra food. So that's all Negeya when you have a 2-day Yom Tov. When it's a 3-day Yom Tov, like now, there's no Shailu B'chlal, it's Pashit, Sai Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and Simchas Torah. After you make the bracha, you say Yeshar Alana to cook and to bake, Ulemevet Kol Tzarchana from Yom Tov to Shabbos, because Fashteitzach it's you want to prepare on Yom Tov for Shabbos. It's only Shabbos. Another pointer to bring out, being that it's a 3-day Yom Tov, b'negeya to Eiruv Tavshilin, which is negeya across the board, Sai Rosh Hashanah, Sai Sukkot, and Sai Simchas Torah, is the halacha, it's negay in every Eiruv Tavshilin, that the Eiruv brought the halacha in Shulchan Aruch. We're going to learn Sif Tazayin that the Eiruv has to be kayim while you're cooking. While you're preparing Friday, Erev Shabbos, it has to be kayim. It's Sif Tezvav. But often, that if Lu Yitzur, it was eaten before Friday, you made an egg and somebody ate the egg before, or let's say it was lost, it got spoiled, you no longer have an Eiruv Tavshilin. You don't have an Eiruv Tavshilin.
You don't have it with you.
What'd you say?
Someone else left it at home.
Pashtus, it works because you could even make it. It's a shmuz for itself. What happens if you forget? You can even make it when it's not b'mkaimai. But what does it mean? You made it. It's not in the house where you're cooking.
You can eat it. You can eat it. Left. Went away for the job. And you cooked it somewhere else.
I don't remember right now, Taka. If you no, because it's an eitzef. Let's say you forgot and you're in shul. There's a meduber if you can make the Eiruv Tavshilin Shaloi b'mkaimai, but could be over there. It's only you're doing it to the place where the other food is, that you're going to be able to eat it. Taka, you're going to have it. So Mevela it's a 3-day Yom Tov, and you're making the Eiruv Tavshilin Wednesday already. You have to make sure that it's going to be kayim. First of all, it's trying to get spoiled. You'll have the Eiruv Tavshilin for Friday. It has to last for 2 days. It's negay on a 2-day Yom Tov also, but ubefrat a 3-day Yom Tov to make sure that it lasts from Erev Yom Tov throughout till Friday, till you cook. To make sure it's sitting around 2 days in the fridge, it's an egg sitting around that doesn't get eaten, till when you want to cook. So Atkan we spoke with what it's doima, the Eiruv Tavshilin of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Sukkot, and Simchas Torah. However, there are some cases it's chalak. The first one is the obvious one, the Gemara in Be'ed Avav. If somebody forgot to make an Eiruv Tavshilin, and that's the ganz fine, we call it the biggest fear Erev Yom Tov. You have a sign, a reminder. Pashtas, you can't do it the night before, so you have to remember during the busyness of Erev Yom Tov to make an Eiruv Tavshilin. these text messages, reminders, but upon him not to forget. What happens if you forget? So there's many eitzes. What'd you say?
Is Makari can't do it on the night? Is Makari can't do it on the night before?
In Shevet HaLevi, Rav Wosner says not. I don't remember if there's like an earlier Makari. It also goes into the reason what's the aside of Eiruv Tavshilin. Maybe we'll get to it in a different time, but I don't remember if he says, I didn't see it now, I said it was a little while back. Either says Yizicha can't or it's Roy not to do it. So the Bais, what happens if somebody forgot? There are many eitzes, many different halachas about it. The simplest eitzah, the Gemara says, if it's a 3-day Yom Tov, like now, you're busy the whole Erev Yom Tov, and you forgot to make Eiruv Tavshilin. So comes the first day Yom Tov, your head settles a little bit, and you're happy to make Eiruv Tavshilin. Zok the Gemara, you can make on the first day Yom Tov, when it's 3 days, and you make it out Tanai. To say Yom Tov, let's take Sukkot now. You have Sukkot that's Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. And Wednesday you forgot to make Eiruv Tavshilin. You want to be able to cook Friday, second day Yom Tov for Shabbos. So what do? Thursday you make an Eiruv Tavshilin. Shaila by the bracha, you make Eiruv Tavshilin. And here's the story. If Thursday is Yom Tov, it's a chsveika de Yom the Tuesday Yom Tov. If Thursday is Yom Tov, so stam is a Friday you can cook even without an Eiruv Tavshilin. It's chayil. And if Friday is Yom Tov, we treat the Tuesdays as sveika de Yom. So one day, it's only one day. If Thursday is Yom Tov, you don't need Eiruv Tavshilin. And if Friday is Yom Tov, so it's beautiful. Thursday, today, the first day Yom Tov, you can make Eiruv Tavshilin. So that's a Pasha Ta'id, so you make it the first day Yom Tov. However, that's only going to work for Sukkot and Simchas Torah, not for Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah it's not going to help because it's Yom HaRichta. So even though it's Be'etzem a Sveika de Yom, but like it's Mavur in the Rishayim, we treat it as a Yom HaRichta, one long day. So B'meila, Thursday, Friday is one day. B'meila, you can make Eiruv Tavshilin on Thursday to be able to cook from Friday for Shabbos. What did you say?
You use food that was not cooked for the same Eiruv Tavshilin? What are you doing? Are you making the food?
How do you do it? What's the shaila?
Raw food, cooked food?
You let him cook food. You want to let him cook the food that day. Scheiner the Shul. On Yom Tov, could you cook it with a Scheiner?
You don't have to cook. You
that's a really good question.
Take out the thing where you will
Not here, the same shop.
You did? Is that the shop?
No, because the shaila is you can't eat it. You're going to cook it now. You can't eat it till Friday to be able to have it. So Elamai, you use something that's cooked already. If you're going to cook it now, you could. Yeah, you can't eat it. You can only eat it tomorrow. After you finish cooking Friday.
can't cook that. Definitely eat it now.
Because when I didn't make the Eiruv Tavshilin, they can't cook for Shabbos.
Your zicha can't cook now for Shabbos. It's Thursday no matter what. But Elamai, you want to. You need it to be kaim till you cook. Till Friday needs to be kaim. Till Friday. Right, so what are you talking? It's interessant. What'd say?
You have to have something that was very good or not.
In the sif that speaks about
Can you cook now or not?
He's saying that you have to cook previously. I wasn't made He says that Nachum should feel like you can't just collect the supply.
Alright, so take a little bit.
So why is it only Zevi? Why is it only a Yeshayim? I mean, and the first she told you could cook on the first day?
Yeah.
How could you cook on the first day? How's it Shaykh? Lefty Ma'ayim or Sif Chaf Beis, the end of the Sif. Yeah, you're right, but how's it? How do you understand the first? Another chilek.
Cook and eat after we go. You can keep the whole thing.
Yeah, so your leftovers is going to be the
After we go from the two.
I mean, you're cooking Thursday for Yom Tov, just like the etzem, the eitz. If a person doesn't have Eiruv Tavshilin, you could cook a lot. So you cook, and then happens to be from what you cooked for that day, you take that, wash it. Yeah, no, what Salem say? It's a parsha the eitzah. But you're cooking the first day Yom Tov. You're cooking, you're preparing for the Suda. You take from that food, you use a little bit of that for the Eiruv Tavshilin. We're talking about the first day. The Tanai is the first day. If today is Yom Tov, you don't need Eiruv Tavshilin. But if tomorrow is Yom Tov, so then you're making Eiruv Tavshilin today, because today is not Yom Tov. There's a lot of eitzes of somebody. If I got the simple eitzes is over here, that technically you just make the tonight and you can cook regularly. That eitz is only for food that you anyways going to use for Yom Tov. You can make more and use that for Shabbos. Let's say you want it Friday, you want to put up cholent and other food, and you're not planning on serving Friday at the Suda cholent. If you are, so you could, you can be marby, you can make a bigger pot.
like original, like a stick that, yeah, bring up the chunk, I'm going to have some throughout the day.
You could, if you use it on, you could only use it, you could only put it up, the whole site of Eiruv Tavshilin, based off someone's going to come and eat it, but if technically for you making it, you have to eat it. So you can't make it Friday. If you're going to eat it, you can make it.
Yeah, one spoonful, yes.
Another eitzah, another chiluk between Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot Simchas Torah is like this. We started off that these three Eiruv Tavshilins coming up in this year, Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and Simchas Torah. So the first thing is Stamazai, that it's not negated to Ben Eretz Yisrael. Ben Eretz Yisrael, Sukkot and Simchas Torah, they don't have Eiruv Tavshilin. For them, it's only once, right? Because they have one day Yom Tov. So Yom Tov is Thursday. Friday's either Chalamoid or it's Isra Chag. Yeah, so there's no Eiruv Tavshilin. However, for Rosh Hashanah, this is already a big one for them. They see they have 3 days Yom Tov. But Avad is Eiruv Tavshilin. So that's Pashat. That's not even a chiluk in Eiruv Tavshilin. They just don't have only Rosh Hashanah. But here's a step weiter. If you have a Ben Eretz Yisrael that's in Chutz La'aretz, so the halacha is a Ben Eretz Yisrael in Chutz La'aretz, Siman Tov Tzadik Vav Siv Gimel, and in the more in the Mishnah, a Ben Eretz Yisrael that's visiting Chutz La'aretz and he keeps only 1 day Yom Tov. The second day Yom Tov is Aser b'Malacha Afilu b'Tzina. Avad, it's not Yom Tov for him, so he puts on tefillin, Matzah Yom Tov, but he's not allowed to do Malacha even b'Tzina. Even if no one sees, it's Aser. So the Stamazay Marasayin, the question is why it's Aser, but it's Aser. However, Zokta Mishnah that if a Ben Eretz Yisrael is going to be here in America, Daite Lachsa means he only keeps 1 day Yom Tov. Rosh Hashanah, he has to make Eiruv Tavshilin versteht sich. But Sukkot and Simchas Torah doesn't have to make Eiruv Tavshilin. He can cook Friday for Shabbos even without an Eiruv Tavshilin. Why? Because there's no Marasayin. When the person's cooking, this Ben Eretz Yisrael, nobody sees in his cooking that he's cooking without an Eiruv Tavshilin, and somebody knows that he did it. Avad, it's Asa Fila B'Chadri Chadarim to do Isser, to turn on the light even when nobody sees it's Aser. But here, there's no Marasayin. What's the Marasayin? That he's cooking? Everyone's allowed to cook. You have to make an Eiruv Tavshilin. No one will ever know that he didn't make an Eiruv Tavshilin.
Someone was with him the whole time.
What'd say?
Someone, guest.
Punk is following the whole entire time. Hazor sagt der Shiur Sivkat Yud Gimel. Yeah. What were you going to say more? One more din.
He's in a house with a bunch of Americans, right? So someone has a kid that made Aliyah, and that kid comes home for Yom Tov, that kid keeps 1 day now. Do they have to make Erev Tavshilin B'chlal? Or can they just rely on Institute cooking?
So one second. There's a lot of different interesting shilas that come in over here. Is a ben chutzlot's allowed to cook on Yom Tov? Then there's also a shaila. If you're a guest by somebody else, you also have to make Erev Tavshilin. You can rely. We can't cover all Gansel Chas Erev Tavshilin. No. It's a good question. But I'm saying the Ben Eretz Yisrael for himself. He wants to make the second day Yom Tov. He wants to cook something. He's allowed to cook. You're also allowed to cook, but you have to make sure to have Erev Tavshilin. He doesn't need Erev Tavshilin. One more nekuda, which I guess I'll ask the Olam if Rosh Hashanah is doim with the Sukkot and Simchat Torah or not. Olam's feedback. In the Iker Din, how Erev Tavshilin works, das heißt, you want to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos. So there's a machlokes in the Gemara and Pesachim. If be'etzem there's a iser d'oraisa cooking from Yom Tov to Shabbos, Shitas of Chisda is that there's no iser. There's no iser d'oraisa tzorche Yom Tov nasen, tzorche Shabbos nasen be Yom Tov. You could prepare from Yom Tov to Shabbos. There's no iser d'oraisa. However, the Chachamim didn't want. After you're going to come to cook from Yom Tov to Kollel, so Mela, they said it's aser, and then they said make an Erev Tavshilin. That's Rav Chisda. We're not going to go into Barichas. I just want to get to one point. Rabbi holds Shitas Rabba. Shitas Rabba is that really there's an Isser d'oraisa to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos. And Isser d'oraisa, you're not allowed to cook. Be'etzem, you would be loika. Norvos, lamaisi, you're not loika. The machlokes really is a machlokes from Yom Tov to Kollel. Uminei is the machlokes from Yom Tov to Shabbos. Again, Rav Chisda says there's no issa to begin with because you're allowed to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos. You're allowed to. It's different than from Yom Tov to Kollel. Yom Tov to Kollel, you're not allowed to. Yom Tov to Shabbos, you're allowed to. Rabbi holds Yom Tov to Shabbos, you're not allowed to, even midayraisa. Norvos. Ravos is a svar of hoyul mekloi archem. Guest might show up and need the food. So even though you went and you cooked on Yom Tov and you did it to prepare for Shabbos, which you were not allowed to, however, it's the chasafik. Could be guests are going to come, and if guests are going to come, they're going to eat it today, Friday. So if they ate it Friday, you actually didn't prepare for Shabbos. You taka in your mind, you wanted to do it for Shabbos, but it didn't turn out for Shabbos. Still the Chacham Ma'asa, and that's Erev Tavshilin. And I'll upon him, these are machlokes amaroyim. If before coming to Erev Tavshilin, we're learning in the night Kollel now on Erev Tavshilin, before you come to Erev Tavshilin, if somebody is to go in to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos, would that be an Issa d'oraisa or not? L'maisa, like everybody, it's not Aser. The question is, why is it not Aser? Is it not Aser because you're allowed to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos, or because Hoyle B'kloi Archem? What's the big nafgemina? Samach l'chashecha. Samach l'chashecha. Friday afternoon, you realized it was Rosh Hashanah. You came home late from davening. You didn't put up the cholent yet, and it's a few minutes before Shabbos. So what do? If these midaraisa, it's mutter to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos, so then it's mutter. It's mutter. Avadu with the Erev Tavshilin because of Chaim Asad, and then you made Erev Tavshilin. But if you learn the reason why it's not awesome midaraisa, why is it not awesome midaraisa to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos? Because maybe guests are going to come. So very good. If you're putting it up right before Shabbos, it's not going to. Well, guests are going to come. Guests are going to come. They're not going to have a cholent. It's not ready. So be'etzem it should come out. It should be awesome. So for this, Zagan the Poskim, that if it's a 3-day Yom Tov, like now, that it's Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, and the second day Yom Tov is anyways more kal, it's midrabanon, v'meila, Zakta b'shibura, yesh lahakal b'shas hatchak. If you didn't put up a cholent yet, you could put it up late Friday afternoon, even though you don't have the Sor Hoyba Kloi Archim, which if you don't have the Svara late Rabbi, would be Aser Mid'oraisa to cook, so you've cut in Gimel. be awesome a day rice to cook. The teretz is, since it's the second day Yom Tif, it would be mutter. So I just want to ask the Olam, I didn't find anybody speaking about it. What's Lagabe Rosh Hashanah? Do you have the same thing also? Pashtus, you do. The same tzad lahakol by Rosh Hashanah as well, because Lamais, it's the second day Yom Tov, it's already b'drabanan. The mokum l'sapak a little bit is because Lamaisa, it's Yom HaRichta. So if it's Yom HaRichta, maybe it's fort attached to the first day. Pashtus, it's the same thing, because Lamaisa, the second day is the Rabbanon. However, and with this I conclude, however, Lamaisa, the Mishabura says that even on a 2-day Yom Tif, to say it's Friday and Shabbos, if you didn't prepare food till late Friday afternoon, even there, Zok the Mishabura, Efshe the Yesh Lahakol, that you're allowed to put up the chalent. So I'm saying even if Rosh Hashanah is considered one day, you're still able to do it. Efshe the Yesh Lahakol. So what's Taka the Pshat? What's Taka the Pshat? When it's only 2 days Yom Tif, to say it's Friday, Shabbos, and you didn't put up the food till late Friday afternoon, l'chayra, what's the tzad lahakol? L'chayra, you don't have a tzad kula, you don't have hoyel mekloi archim, and to cook Friday without hoyel mekloi archim is the cha'isr deiraisa. The Paskin?
No, there's a Scheiner that holds that.
Oh, Zok the Bialacha, he explains. Hayois, there's a lot of Rishonim. The Taka Paskin, like Rav Chizda, not like Rabbi, not Hoyel Mekloi Orchim, not of the Svar Hoyel Mekloi Orchim. Memela, Zok the Chavetz Chaim and the Bialacha, V'shas atchak, efsh the yesh lahakol lismach, even on a 2-day Yom Tif. Even on a 2-day Yom Tif, that the pshat is Friday when you're cooking and you don't have Hoyel Mekloi Orchim like the Rabbi. There's an Isser Doi Raisa, and for that Eiruv Tavshilin is not going to help. You can be soymech on many Rishonim, the Rambam, V'oid, that say that we pass like Rav Chizda, and maybe you can cook even late Friday afternoon when it's a 2-day Yom Tov. But Al Kapanim, in Yoneinu, the next 3 Yom Tovim, Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and Simchas Torah, that it's a 3-day Yom Tov. And if you forgot to cook Friday afternoon and it's right before Shabbos, you're going to put up the food and no guests are going to be able to come to eat the food. You could still be mekel. So, b'shas atchak, you didn't put up the chant, you need to put up the food, and you don't have the svar, b'shas atchak, second day Yom Tov, you can prepare the food.